So a warm welcome to everybody here. Some faces I haven't seen for a while, others I don't know, but I'm really happy to open this birthday celebration. So it's about logosynthesis and the meaning of logosynthesis in the world. And logosynthesis is a model for healing and development. I think we all have gone through this and we all know what logosynthesis can change in our behaviors, in our mindset, in our way of living. It's about essence, self-determination, inner freedom, an open heart, all that, any of those topics cannot simply be put into a clear framework. LIA began 10 years ago tackling this difficult task. It started certifying training courses, made goals measurable, introduced regulations whether we need it. And I think LIA's main contribution is making logosynthesis visible in the world and make the professional members visible to those who may be interested in guidance. So today we want to celebrate the 10th birthday. We are in the celebration mode since a couple of days. And a candle and a glass of champagne. Thank you. I'm so proud to be part of this journey. I'm honored to be the president of the LIA, but I'd now like to hand over to Monica, who is our executive director of the LIA board, and she will continue with the journey which started 10 years ago.
Exactly. The founding members, and I have some pictures from my own journey I did okay, so I show you the pictures. You have some nice a nice sailing boat, and then we go to a, how do you call that?
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, exactly. So now I will tell you the story. So the founding members set sail together and took us on a journey through unknown waters. The journey was characterized by discoveries, challenges, and countless learning moments. There have been moments of doubt and uncertainty, but our shared vision and strong community spirit have propelled us always forward. Today we stand here, not at the end of our journey, but at a shining waypoint that shows us how far we have come and how much potential still lies ahead. Let us see this moment as our lighthouse that guides us into the future with the wind of hope in our sails and the determination to reach new horizons together. So I hope we will have a good ship that brings us many more miles ahead. And now I'm happy to introduce Ernst. He will tell us something about the really first moments or minutes of LIA when it was started. Ernst was president or director, first president and then director for 10 years. And now he is honorary member of LIA. And I'm happy that you say a few words to us, Ernst. I can't see you anymore. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, as you know, LIA is now a well-running association with over 300 members. Exactly, I think today 328. And after a total of 10 years as president, or other last year as executive director, I had the pleasure of passing the LIA on to competent hands. Heike Rudolf von Rohr has built up the new International Board of Trustees very professionally and competently over the last 12 months. And Monika Koller-Skinka will continue and expand my role as the person responsible for the board of directors and the head office. This had also been handed over to younger hands after 6 years in which we built up a well-functioning administration with Rita Meyer. Now Anna Maria Limbach has taken over the torch with great enthusiasm. But how has all that begun? So, in 2012, a few years after the creation of Logosynthesis, the community grew bigger and bigger, and Willem Lammers realized that a new kind of organization was needed in order to spread Logosynthesis on a wider basis, to guarantee the quality and to secure it continues beyond his personal work. So in autumn 2012, Willem asked Esther Borra, who had already taken over the German language practitioner certifications from him at the time, and she proposed her partner, that means me, because I had already a lot of experience in establishing associations. So the first meeting took place in my house in Zurich in December 2012. After the meeting, I developed a first draft of the statutes, which was further elaborated at meetings in Zurich, Davos, and Mayenfeld. I took over the presidency, Esther, the certification. The team of three expanded with Sigrid Stilp for marketing, Susanne von Blumenthal, originally finance and administration, later training, and Lucia Graf Lammers as vice president. These 6 people held the founding meeting on the 13th of March 2014. That means now exactly 10 years ago, I think 1 hour later, but nearly 10 years. If you wait another hour, then it's really 10 years old. And we made that on the first evening of a masterclass. The next morning, I presented the newly founded Logosynthesis International Association, and we convinced most of the seminar participants about this idea. In the same evening, the brilliant start of the LIA was celebrated with 26 members. Since then, the LIA board has been working on a voluntary basis and has invested, you know, I'm a big calculator. I like the numbers. So we have invested in the board around 500 days or 4,000 hours over the last 10 years. And I'm convinced that this investment was really worthwhile. Because even today, it is still our mission and task to serve the ongoing development of knowledge, spreading, quality assurance, and the promotion of acceptance of logosynthesis. And to certify practitioners, instructors, master practitioners, and trainers, and thus ensure the quality of training and practice of logosynthesis. As I said, I'm convinced that our investment was worthwhile and will continue to do so in the future. For this, I wish you and the LIA all the best, every success, and naturally, happy birthday.
Thank you, Ernst. Thank you very much for repeating this little historical description. It's always amazing seeing or hearing with what you started and what you handed over to us when we started last year in March. And you already mentioned the people involved, but I'd like to give them a second attention. Who have been the founding members? And most of them are on the screen. So first of all, of course, Willem. Thank you, Willem, for everything you did, for founding Logosynthesis and bringing it to the world, and also teaching us who are on the screen here too. Second, Esther, who had the courage to start this journey and started it together with her husband, her partner Ernst. Thank you both. I think it could also be challenging as a couple to end up in such a role.
Yes, yes.
I imagine.
Leah was sitting at the breakfast table sometimes.
I can imagine. I'm into this too, without having my husband being part of the association. Of course, Lucia. Without Lucia, Willem would not have been able to do all those things which he did, but she also supported him with the finances, what I know, and over many years also the administration. Susanne, without Susanne, we would have a huge gap in training. Susanne started from the very beginning with the association, but also with training and teaching logosynthesis. Thank you so much for what you do and what you still are doing. I know that's on top of your pile of tasks on your desk, and it's challenging. Thank you so much. And Sigrid, I don't know Sigrid personally, but I know that we will see a video later from her or about her. And thanks to all of you. And I also want to mention that Willem, besides being the founder and the brand owner, we assume we assume so.
Sounds good.
The brand owner, we also appointed him honorary president of the board of trustees. So he is still available to guiding us whenever we need support, but he's also keeping the stakes high for logosynthesis, values, philosophy, and quality. So these are the people who made the whole thing running. And thank you for handing it over to us, to the new bunch of people. And we will always be aware of what you did for the association, Logosynthesis International Association. Thanks so much.
Okay, so we have put together a top 10, a LIA birthday top 10, just highlighting various things that have happened in the last 10 years. And they're not in any particular order because we couldn't work that out. So we decided to be random and present a birthday top 10. So number 10, LIA established social media presence with Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
No, maybe you can clap as well.
Oh, there's applause in there somewhere.
Number 9, LIA hosted the LIA Logosynthesis Symposium and celebrated Logosynthesis Day.
Number 8, LIA's membership expanded from Switzerland and Germany, becoming fully international, beginning with 24 members and today having 312.
LIA created a fund that supports logosynthesis training in developing countries.
Good one.
LIA developed, number 6, LIA developed the multilingual website with content available in 4 languages.
Number 5, LIA began to train and certify practitioners, instructors, masters, practitioners, and trainers.
Number 4, LIA transitioned training curriculum from Willem Lammers as founder to multiple trainers.
And number 3, LIA developed a strategic plan to expand global awareness of logosynthesis.
Oh.
Number Number 2, LIA has a dynamic group of volunteers who sit on the board of directors and the board of trustees.
And number 1, LIA has become a vibrant community of engaged professionals, and many of you are here today. So, congratulations.
Yes. We've had an amazing 10 years, and we invite you to raise your glasses and raise the
celebrate.
toast.
Yay.
You'll open the
Celebrating your
wines.
language.
So cheers from England.
Cheers.
Chin
Cheers.
chin from
Cheers.
Italy.
Cheers.
Cheers from Switzerland. Cheers.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Prost!
Birthday.
Prost. Prost.
Viva!
Skull. Viva.
Viva.
Skull.
What's the Geburtstag?
I just saw that in the German translation, if you put on CC, you see the translation. You can choose a language, and I saw that logosynthesis has been translated with photosynthesis. Synthesis.
Okay.
Oh, no. So we will all turn green by the time.
I like this because it's a good introduction to my presentation. I'm going to share the screen. Can I share the screen?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, okay. So we have the lights, the photosynthesis. This is a home up in the mountains. We had a snowy day in October 2014, October 29 to be exact. And I just checked this, indeed, October 29. Or no, for 29 of October 14, that's what it is. So we have one of these houses in the snow. The story. So we were there with 2 couples, and I think that LIA has been a subject of the discussion in our house too, regularly in different roles. So here we have the team and Esther, Lucia, and Willem. I was not on the picture because I made the picture. And here's Mr. President, and you see he hasn't grown old at all. So
Thank you.
Only the haircut changed.
yeah, yeah. My haircut changes too, but you can't see that. Here's the vice
Lucky you.
president. You see, she's highly concentrated, as only Lucia can be. And then we have the president and the vice president discussing together and giving the direction for the future. So, and then after that discussion, we had a dinner table, which was taken down. And then, of course, we had a drink. So one of the important characteristics of this early board was that they're really very good in finding good wine and good foods. So I hope this is tradition. You can continue with your new board of trustees, although the virtual part is a little bit more difficult than 3D and live. So a few details. This is the door. And this is how these houses are built. If they don't burn down, they can stand there for ages. And Esther and Ernst know the story of houses burning down in that village. So that was it. The weather was fine. And this was what I had to tell. So I take down the link.
Very much.
Thank you, Willem. I'm almost getting homesick. I haven't been there for a while, so I have to turn back soon. Yeah, what Willem told us is that's a village of 40 houses, little houses, about 500 years old, and 14 of them burned down about 15, 20 years ago. So, but they're all rebuilt and everything is fine now. So yes, the launch of LIA was successful, and we set to work with motivation and with many new starts. The ideas had to be fine-tuned and focused, of course. Each of us had his or her own language or idea. And you can imagine how we had to get away from some ideas like we should or we ought to. And fortunately, we already had logosynthesis. And in addition to LIA, I and probably some others who were involved made great progress. Thanks of that too. That's my just little short story they told me to keep it short.
Although you probably all know, we don't want to miss out to introduce you the actual boards, the board of trustees and the board of directors. And for that, I share the screen and show you the new website. The new, but it's still quite new. And you see the website?
Yes.
This
So
is
on
not
the
a board
first-
member.
I know, but I wanted to show the whole page. When you scroll down the first page, then you
Okay.
can find all the members, board of trustees. Heike.
Okay, thank you. Maybe a few words to me for those who don't know me. I'm German by origin, living in Switzerland now for more than 20 years, married to a Swiss. And occasionally I joined the logosynthesis training, obviously in 2014, that's when I started. And since then, I'm really engaged in learning and applying it. And in 2022, Ernst and Willem convinced me it was, I think, a piece of work for them to take on the presidency. And since then, I'm working with this wonderful team, starting with the newest, which is Regina Tiergaard. I think she's also 10 or 14 years with the board. Unfortunately, she's not on the screen. She recently joined and she will take over the chair for standards, certifications, and ethics. And we were very happy to having her on board. To the right, it's on the screen. Kathy, without Kathy, we would not have these wonderful backgrounds. Without Kathy, we would not have all those wonderful posts and all the communication. Since she took over, the volume of postings increased significantly. Thank you, Kathy. On the lower left, Alan. Alan is not there. I think he's suffering from COVID these days. Alan Rioja Yalcoca, he's from Peru. He is holding the chair for local organizations. So his role is about bringing local bubbles closer to the LIA and hopefully creating chapters or associations. But this is part of the strategy to come. And of course, Susan, she stayed on board. Thank you. She's holding all the history, she's holding the research, and without Susan, a lot of all the information would have been lost. Thanks, Susan, to stay with us and hold your hand over us. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to working with this tribe of people. Our task will be, it was said before that we have already a strategy, we are working on a strategy, but I'm very positive that we can implement a lot of new aspects which will bring us forward to a modern, global, interactive association. Thanks to my board and thanks for you supporting us with all what you can do out there in the world. Thank you.
And now to my board of directors. I just took over the board of directors. I was part of it until last week as responsible for. And since we are focusing more on the international community, it does not make very much sense to have local events at the moment. So the role was not so challenging. Now I took over Ernst's role as director, the board of directors, and I'm very happy to introduce Anna Maria. She took over from Rita some months ago, and I'm very happy that she does such a good job. She thinks with us, she wants to bring LIA forward. I really feel a lot of energy and joy in her, how she works, and I'm very happy to have you in the team, Anna Maria. And then Sonia as well, she's not here, unfortunately. She didn't make it to come. She's responsible for certifications. She's also always very alert to think of things, that everything, she tries to get things in the right way, in the right manner, and then it's good to have her as a second brain. If I forget something, I have Sonia to tell me that something is not going well, and I'm really happy to be part of this team. And of course, I'm also part of, or I work very closely with the Board of Trustees, and I also appreciate that work.
Yeah,
and
thank you,
finally,
Monica.
last but not least, we have Willem on the page, the founder, and we already heard from Heike that he's not officially part of the board anymore. Since 1 year he stepped back, but he's in the background and always ready to help us out. So thank you.
And now honorary president.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Ernst
a
is
fair-
not on the page anymore, but he's as well on the background. And maybe to show you, if you need anybody of us, just go on the picture. Can you see that? That you
Yes.
see the name, the function, and then you can click on the symbol to send out a email.
So when I remember the first board meeting, we were, I think, in April. So the first board meetings, or all the board meetings, we traveled a lot. First from April, then we were in Switzerland, and also then we made different retreats, and we were traveling to Germany, near to Nuremberg with Sigrid, or to Austria in Schwarzenberg, or near to the border of Switzerland in Stein am Rhein. And there we passed very nice, intensive meetings, and very long meetings, sometimes struggling, sometimes doubting, and finding a way to come together also with our vision, our mission, and all the knots. I remember this picture of the networking, the knots of a net. We want to spread logosynthesis into the world. And also we were very satisfied in the evening almost most time, and then we had a very good glass of wine. That was very typical for us. And nowadays it's how I see now the next step in the international way of logosynthesis. Now we are sitting alone in our office or our room, and we could send some greetings, but it's not the same if you come together live. And I think the virtual community is very good, but I still miss the 3D and the live sessions and meetings. So I hope that we could meet somehow in sometimes, and we can go on with a good wine in the evening to sit together and talking and chattering. This is my hope for the future, and I still stay here, and I'm looking forward to Heike and to all the Board of Trustees and how we are going along now to the next step.
Okay, ich spreche auf Deutsch und ich hoffe, jemand übersetzt das. Ich möchte erwähnen, dass ich vor allem diese Stimmung vom Aufbruch sehr gemocht habe. Wir hatten noch nichts, außer mit den Statuten angefangen, und wir haben mit der Gestaltung von einem Logo, von ein Gesicht gesucht für diese LIA. Und ich denke, wenn ich heute noch dieses Logo sehe, ist das ein sehr schöner Ausdruck für diese Gemeinschaft, die inzwischen so sehr gewachsen ist. Und mir war das immer ein spezielles Anliegen, dass diese Gestaltung im Auftreten von der LIA, dass die auch wirklich professionell und schön daherkommt. Und heute inzwischen komme ich gar nicht mehr mit, wie schnell sich dieses Board entwickelt. Und ich bin froh, kann ich zurücktreten und euch das überlassen. Und ich denke, es ist in sehr guten Händen und ich genieße es zu schauen, wie ihr das macht. Und gratuliere euch dazu, wie gut das läuft. Freue mich mit euch und werde weiterhin beobachten. Mein Herz geht nach euch.
At this point, I wanted to recognize a very important group within the LIA community, and that is our trainers. And without our trainers, logosynthesis would not move forward as an international recognized model that is certified by LIA. And what I'm going to ask in the next while, I think by my count, there's about 7 trainers that are with us today. And I'm going to ask Julia to spotlight them as they speak. But what I'd like is to start with Suzanne. And Suzanne, perhaps you can introduce yourself and let us know your country and what language you train in. But maybe also if you could give us an idea of why you became a trainer. And then when you're done, you could just hand it over to the next person and everybody can pass along, as we quite often do in our logosynthesis training.
Okay, I started with logosynthesis in 2010. I knew Willem already several years ago. I was in his training of transactional analysis. And then I thought, that's a wonderful new method. And in that time, I was director of a big psychiatric hospital. I am a psychiatrist and psychotherapist and was looking for new models to get people into a healing process. And also as a head of a clinic, I was engaged in training of young professionals all over, not only the psychiatrists, also the psychologists, also the nurses and so on. So that was very important for me. And so I thought to bring logosynthesis into this field of this medical field, psychiatric field. And that was the starting point. 2015, I decided to go on to give training in Bad Ragaz with Willem. And then he told me to take over the Institute of Logosynthesis of Switzerland. And so 2 years later, I took over this institute. So I am very in the training business now. After 7 years, I think we made some steps into the training, not only the practitioner curriculum, but also into the field of the psychosocial counseling. We have a diploma course, and also internationally. It's in German, but it's from Germany, Switzerland, and till this year we have someone from Italy. So it's also spreading not only locally. And also I set up a course of psychotherapy. So I want to make more trainings on logosynthesis, not only our logosynthesis training as a curriculum, but also the further training for different professionals on the way. So the institute is getting bigger, and I hope to develop this training in this local area. I train normally in German, but also in English. We made now, since Willem handed over our this international summer conference with the team of Mary and Kristin and me, who was running this with all other trainers, and so we did it nearly yearly. Also, the pandemic was a break, but now we took over again, and it's very funny to have this international. So we do the training also in English. So that's me, and I hand over to Mary.
Thank you, Suzanne. So I'm Mary O'Donoghue, and I trained originally in 2008. I had met with Willem beforehand, and he had asked me, and he and Lucia had asked me to go over and do some training in Bad Ragaz. And so I did, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I thought I wouldn't mind doing this again. So we went, both my husband and I went and did the training, and I was very enthused. I came home thinking there is something really important in this. There's something really useful in this. So so I did further training with Willem over the years, and I became a trainer, and I have had the privilege of training in Canada, in the Netherlands, in Italy, in Ireland, and in England. So it's been very exciting. It's been wonderful to see the changes. And I just had a conversation with my son earlier with a young boy who at only 14 had been refusing to go to school, and solely with logosynthesis. This morning he attended school for the first time in over a year. And that's the power and the compassion of logosynthesis, and that's what keeps me going. So along with Suzanne, Astrid, and Kristin, I'm part of the what do they call us? Expert group.
Expert group.
As if that's the truth, but so I'm part of the expert group. I'm also part of the management team, as Suzanne said, of the summer academy, and the whole system, when you go and meet up with people from all over the world, with all different accents, all different languages, there is such a joy in seeing people coming from the same heart. And so please God, I'll intend to continue doing this work for a wee while longer at least. So that's me, and I'm handing over to, who am I handing over to? Ineke.
Well, I'm Ineke. I think everybody knows me, but I'm a trainer in the Netherlands. And the beginning, that's a long time ago. I came into the world of logosynthesis, I think around 2011 or 2012. And pretty soon, Astrid and I started to build a kind of informal group around us to talk about how can we bring logosynthesis into the Netherlands as for the whole program for practitioners. So we started with a group of 6 to 10 people who were already involved in logosynthesis. And from that, we created the foundation in the Netherlands. Sorry. And that's the official foundation of the Netherlands. And out of this foundation, we created the whole program to become a practitioner, and for everybody who wants to follow this program in Dutch. And we do it until today. And I became a trainer, well, it was natural, it was logical. I train groups, I give courses, I give psychoeducation my whole working life. So it was very natural that I should give the seminars too. And I really enjoy it. What can I say? I worked for many years in the board of the foundation. And I did it, well, I really loved it to build up this community in the Netherlands. But it became too much with my professional other work I had to do. So I stepped back, I think 2 years ago now, Mary. Is that true? I think so, 2 years ago. So that gives me a little bit more space to do other things. But I really enjoy working with and for the logosynthesis world, the whole idea of logosynthesis. It's really a part of me. And yeah, that I will continue that for the rest of my life, I can say. Yeah.
Awesome. We'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
So who do you turn it over to?
Yeah, I don't know. The train is Heather.
Thank you, Ineke. Thank you. I was just thinking, how long ago was it? It was Mary O'Donoghue who introduced me to logosynthesis when I was doing my coaching trainings. That was about 2009, I've just worked out. So about 15, 16 years ago. And then I was becoming a practitioner and there was not that many seminars. I remember Willem saying to me, you might have to come to Canada, to Halifax to do the Path of Courage. So I thought, okay, I'll go to Canada. And then I became a self-coaching trainer because that was part of the curriculum. And I was doing some of my live work with Willem one-to-one. So in those days, you couldn't do anything online. And then I think I became a trainer about, I mark at the same time as my granddaughter, who's 10, so about 10 years ago. So I was about 5 years becoming a practitioner, and then I became a trainer. In Exeter, I had my group, and I had Trish North come and supervise for me, so that was very special. Keeping the Canadian connection here. And now we are in the UK. It's quite an exciting time for us. I'm glad Raya's here too. And we have 5 of us who are a core group now. We meet regularly online, and there's 4 more people coming through who want to become practitioners this year. So I've been working with Mary on arranging some of those seminars for them. And we have a meeting next week. So we have a meeting every couple of months to keep everyone up to date and share ideas. And so this is very new, it's evolving, but it's an exciting kind of place to be, I think, here in the UK, and for me as the trainer. So I'm hoping in the future to do more live seminars. Currently, I train online mainly. So I am committed to the journey, and I love enjoying all the different aspects of the role as a trainer, being an expert, doing some marking of practitioners' papers, being involved in colloquiums now for master practitioners. So there's the breadth and depth of the work. And I like the fact it's currently always evolving. Willem keeps us on our toes with new books and new protocols to try out. So it's not a static thing. And I think that's also quite exciting. So let me see who to pass on to. Kathy, I'll go to Canada. Sorry, you're not a trainer.
I am not a trainer, so
yeah, sorry,
you can pass to someone else.
I've lost the group here. I'm just looking.
We have Kristen, Esther, and Monica.
Oh yeah, Kristen. Okay, I'll go to Kristen.
I've been on with logosynthesis since Willem introduced it at our coaching and supervision education in between 2005 and 2008. and we thought it was quite weird at the beginning. So I've been in it since the beginning, and as all of you, I just love it, and I'm enjoying being a trainer, and I'm also on the side of Suzanne at the Institute, and for me, it's really also important to get in new people. That's why the psychosocial training is so important to me also, to get people in from the ground and not only the people who are already coaches and supervisors. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to everything that's coming. Esther, yeah.
Okay, I try to keep it short too. So I've been in the logosynthesis community, I think, since 2010, something like that. I continue to become an instructor, to be able to give the self-coaching seminar. And Willem proposed me actually to become a trainer, as I'm a professional trainer for adults, for group dynamic and other stuff. And so I was very interested to continue that way. And as very often in my life, the door was already open. I just had to walk through. So I'm very lucky about that. I'm giving the basic seminar in Switzerland, in Swiss German, and self-coaching seminars. But my focus is more on the French side, because there used to be a community in Belgium, especially for French-speaking people, and it fell a bit apart, and I thought it was such a pity. So I started really to train the people in France, or with online seminars. Others could access to these seminars. And so my way drove me also to Congo. Somebody, through Christine, this question came that I could go to Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, in Bukavu. So Ernst fortunately came with me, so we were the two of us together to give this seminar in French there, and there are some people still in the community there. And I'm teaching now all this practitioner stuff to Sandrine Lecuyer and Miriam Nordman, who are native French speakers, and they will take over one day, I hope so, the French community. So I'm really focusing on that now, and I'm so glad that I found two ladies who are very professional in doing this stuff. And I see there are two participants, one a former participant, Julia. She was there at the very beginning when I wasn't quite that sure about giving seminar or how to give seminar in an online way. And Melanie is here, who is now in the current basic seminar, and she knew Willem in Paris, where he was in February to teach a live seminar. So he is helping to re-establish all this French community, and I'm so glad you did this, Willem.
And then we have Monica left.
I actually started with Logosynthesis in 2010, like many of you, I heard. And I first didn't want to become a trainer, but then I realized that I love Logosynthesis so much that I want to bring it more into the world. And I actually love to give the seminars, because it's the magical moments of the work we do, but also the interested people who are so happy about learning more about logosynthesis. That is something I really love about the seminars. The energy in these groups in this moment is so pure, so nice. So I really enjoy. That's for my side. I give it in Switzerland, in German, and yeah, for the moment in any, not in another language.
Hallo miteinander. Ja, 10 Jahre ist es schon her. Ich habe mal gekramt, was mir denn so eingefallen ist. Ich bin die Sigrid übrigens. Ich war vor 10 Jahren im Gründungsvorstand und habe mich riesig über diese große Ehre gefreut. Lustig ist mir eingefallen, wir hatten einmal eine Versammlung, also eine Vorstandssitzung, ein Vorstandsmeeting bei mir zu Hause in der wunderschönen Oberpfalz. Und wir sind abends weggegangen zum Essen in einem für uns hiesigen, also für die Einwohner da, sehr, sehr teuren kleinen Lokal, aber ich wusste, das ist sehr lecker. Und wir haben erst gut gegessen und es gab leckeren Wein. Und ich kann noch heute den fast entsetzten Ausdruck der Augen sehen vom Ernst und auch vom Willem, von den anderen, dass die Weine doch so günstig seien. Mein Mann und ich haben uns angeschaut, diese Weine waren für uns die teuersten Weine. Ja, so der Unterschied zwischen Schweiz und der Oberpfalz. Als Abschluss erinnere ich mich, habe ich damals ein großes Stück geräuchertes Fleisch auf dem Brett, auf dem Holzbrett mitgebracht und habe das dann quasi nach der Neuwahl bei der Feier zur Verfügung gestellt. Und ich erinnere mich an die vielen glänzenden Augen, denen dieses Stück Fleisch wohl sehr gemuntert hat. Ich wünsche euch alles, alles Gute, viel Spaß heute und der LIA weiterhin tolle 10 Jahre und mit Sicherheit noch viel, viel mehr. Bis bald. Ade.
I remember what Sigrid said, huh? These different prices. We had the highest price of wines with there in Germany, and for us it was cheap, and was very astonished about that. So my little story is as a group dynamic trainer. Who was led over 50 group dynamic weeks. The phase model, I think you know it, forming, storming, norming, performing, has become like a second nature to me. And also the principle, without the right storming, there is no exceptional performance. So it came as no surprise to me that after a few months, we on the board in 2014 or 15 also had a serious conflict in which at least 4 of the 6 members were personally involved. So at an extraordinary meeting in the middle between Bad Ragaz and Zurich, in an extraordinary meeting, some of us, one of them was me, reacted very vehemently and got really loud. Of course, that wasn't pleasant for any of us. However, it meant that, just as the theory said, we worked much better together afterwards and achieved great performance over many years. So that's why also the memory of this difficult time is a very positive one for me. One of the many positive memories. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernst. That's storming is part of working in the matrix, and it does help us in our performance. And I think logosynthesis is a great model to help us get through those stormy moments. So I appreciate that you did work through it. For the next part of our agenda, we wanted to get some feedback from people in the audience as far as what do you wish for LIA for the next 10 years. So we've spent a bit of time over the last hour talking about how LIA was formed. We've got an understanding from the founding board members and from the trainers about what they've brought to the association. And now we are sitting in a position to move the association forward and to create our vision for the next 10 years. And so what we are looking for is some feedback in the chat. If everybody could take a minute or two and jot down a comment as far as what do you wish for LIA for the next 10 years. And if you have to leave, that's fine. There's no pressure to stay. We're just doing this piece. I wrote a couple comments about what I wish for LIA for the next 10 years, and then there will be a wrap up. So if you can stay, that is great as well. Yeah, so I just want to share a little bit from my perspective what I wish for LIA for the next 10 years. And a piece of this is based on when I joined the Board of Trustees last year. Willem described our challenge as LIA, and that is to shape an organization in the matrix to contain our work, which is anchored in essence. And so the challenge is to contain something that can't be contained. And so with the Board of Trustees and the Board of Directors, we've been working to do this. And as you may be aware, we've engaged in a process called design thinking to better understand the needs of our members and then to design the organization around it. And one of the conversations that I had with Olga actually offered me some perspective around it. And she said, you know, LIA feels quite masculine to me at the moment. And the policies, the website, the design, and she said, I want to see more feminine qualities as well. So more connectedness and the basis of our practitioners, some of the softer qualities. So, you know, it's getting that flow, not only of essence in the matrix, which we talk of quite often, but it's also the flow between masculine and feminine. And also in, you know, my personal work and some of the work that's come up, there's an element of intellect and intuition. So what is our flow between intellect, which we might think of with research, which we might think of in our processes, but also intuition, which is the feeling and the sensing and the healing that comes with it. So there's the flow there. So my wish for LIA for the next 10 years is that we're able to create this flow between essence and matrix, between masculine and feminine, and also between the intellect and intuition. And there's an element, and I had a practice group before coming on this call, and we did talk about it. We said, you know, there's an element of our individual work that we have to do to get this flow so that we can do it collectively. And once we can, you know, recognize essence in the matrix and honor the masculine and the feminine and embrace intellect and intuition, then together we can shape LIA moving forward and really to be a container to fulfill our mission of being the recognized global partner, empowering individuals to use logosynthesis in healthy, meaningful living.
It was a great hour plus. I'm really flattened by all the things I've heard. I start with some sentences, some statements which stayed with me. So one of the things is that there are a lot of new people, but we're still on our ways with the same spirit. We speak the same language. And when I hear Katie speaking, she is already speaking the language of Willem's new book. It's really growing so fast. We have obviously some traditions. Some tradition is that we are keeping the first evening of a master class for our General Assembly. You stayed with it when you used this when you founded LIA, but we're still on the first evening, the master class with the good occasion. Many people are there. But the other tradition, which I like very much, is the tradition of good wine and good food. Unfortunately, it was stated several times, we are online, but when I close the sessions, I always ask my husband for a good glass of red wine. Okay, I think traveling will not happen so much, but we try to get a closeness of the board of trustees, and I think we, without only not only working through a challenging 3-hour session, we laugh and we try to keep the individuals and make benefits from the diversity which we have. There are females, there are male, there are people with a scientific brain, there are people with a business brain. So all these brings the wealth of what we are in the board. And so I'm looking forward to continue, and I'm looking forward for the 30th of March in 2034. I will be 81 years old. I don't know whether I'll be there still. Okay, thank you for everything. Looking forward.
I think many things have already been said. Thank you, Heike, for your nice words. I was so astonished to hear how many hours, I think Ernst said 5,000 hours was the work in LIA for the last 10 years. So I think a lot of work will wait for us. Heike.
I'm on the way already.
But of course we have, yeah, I know. But of course we have board members, and we can all together we will be able to hold that container of LIA. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy that we have logosynthesis, that it leads us to a deeper sense of connection with ourselves and with the universe. That I think really it improves the world for a person, and therefore also the relationship with the outer world. And these are so important things to bring out into the world. I think it's a contribution for peace and healing in the world. And that's why I chose a song from Michael Jackson, Healing the World, and I would like to close this celebration with that song. So I say goodbye to everybody, and we see each other in another occasion. Thank you very much that you have been here celebrating with us.